See, what people says, first of all, greetings, glad tidings to all the beloved across the world, Mësët. What people are failing to realize is they gave you a piece of the truth with surrounded by lies. So what did they teach you growing up? That the moon is a reflection of the sunlight. Okay? Now, same thing with the Bible. They tell you bits and pieces of truth surrounded by lies. What did Christ say? Christ said that He is the light of the world, the Son of God. It even says in one part, S-U-N. It literally says S-U-N of God. So, Christ is the light of this world. Well, then you got the preachers that say, oh, it's just one man, and if you don't repeat after me, this and that, you're going to go to hell. Well, Christ never said that. How come He never said that? How come Christ never had a prayer where He said, if you don't say this, you're going to burn in hell and you're not going to be saved and I can't save you? He never said that. That was something that was made up by Paul later. So, that's what we call Legion. Okay? The legion, the same legion that was cast into the pigs, the swine that jumped into the sea, the Holy See that the Vatican calls himself. Well, that's the same legion. But when they do the Legion, Ra just means light. So they're coming as a legion of light, meaning they come as if they're coming to bring good. That's why some of the most evilest, wickedest people that do the most I would not even speak what they do. They give the most money, they call philanthropy. If you break that word down, it's got a sinister meaning as well, if you do a proper etymological breakdown. So we got those that are trying to essentially, that's what's called work your way into the kingdom of heaven. Those who think that just because they I gave 200,000 to the Boys and Girls Club last month. What does that mean? That's no different than if I have $7 to my name and I stop and I give all $7 to the person on the corner. They might go use it for drugs or whatever. That's not on you. If you care that much about what they're going to use the money for, then pull your car over and you guide them. And when you take something you can do better and give them money, fiat currency that means absolutely nothing, that represents death, pull your vehicle over and take 20, 25, maybe 2 hours out of your sacred day. And if you feel that way about them, I ain't giving them money, they ain't gonna do nothing but go drink it up and this thing. Well, why don't you take them to the rehab center? Why don't you at least make some phone calls and get it all set up, get their name, help them? You might not have to go nowhere. They might come get that person right there. But yet, people are Christians. I don't even use that term no more as Biblicans, because they're worshiping this book and what's written in this book more. And you're not even supposed to worship anything. A warship is exactly how it sounds. You're on a ship of war with a flag and you're coming with your weapons and you're coming to conquer. And in this cycle, it's called colonize. Well, what's a colon? A colon is excrement. It's where everything comes out that you do not need, that is not edification. So a colonizer are those that are bringing everything you do not need, that cannot edify you. That literally it's poop. It's bull crap. And it's called Legion. And that's why they hate it. Whether you believe a true man came named Emmanuel, Emmanuel, it's not Yahushua, it's not Yeshua, that's Joshua. That was their true Messiah, if you really want to know. Mashiach. If you really want to know, they worshipped Joshua, Yeshua, as their Messiah because he came with the sword. And that's who these people were waiting on. They were waiting on a bloodthirsty tyrant of a Mashiach to come slay everybody and rule with a rod of iron, as it says in the book of Revelation. That just a couple hundred years ago, it was called the Revelation of Jesus Christ, but it was in Greek. So it said, Apocalypse of Jesus Christ, but it was in Greek. And in proper Greek grammar, I don't know who you're talking to. I don't know what book you're reading, Strong's Concordance and this and that. I speak to the number one Greek, Aramaic, and what you call Hebrew scholar in the entire world. I can speak to this man whenever the Great Spirit convicts me to. Now, he might not hit me back immediately, just like I can't do with everyone that reaches out to I. But I have direct contact with him. And with proper Greek grammatical, proper function, the original name of what we call the book of Revelation is a poke of the lips to he so which riseth to. He so which riseth to is with the word that said that you think says Isu Christo. Isu Christa, Isu Christos, Isu Christos. Isu Christu. Okay? But really it says he so which riseth to was what it says. Okay? Which the whole book was basically stolen by the Caesar of that day, the Roman emperor of that day. They blackmailed each other. The Sibylline priestesses blackmailed them, and the Roman Caesar blackmailed them. But little did they know, the Sibylline priestesses actually came out on top because they had it all memorized anyway. The same way I have everything that I know memorized. If somebody came here and I wrote a book and somebody and ransomed me for the book, and let's say I had 7 copies, and every time they didn't meet my demands, I threw one more copy in the fire. We got down to the last copy. Now they're willing to compromise because they need this book. Okay, they know it holds mysteries that they don't have, or mysteries that they may have came across, but they cannot conceive and they cannot crack the code. I can throw the book. I have one book left, so they think. I can throw in the fire if they don't meet my demands. But what they're failing to realize is it's all right here. And if the students, if you have master students, because the master teacher is a master student. So if you have other master teachers and master students around you, they too should know. They too should be knowers of the truth. You don't need a book. It's in you. Now, as far as the cycle within this realm, that is what they were pursuing, because it was the key that allowed them. It's very similar to the book of Eli with Denzel Washington when they're fighting over his book to see, because they know that if good controls it, good things can happen from it. If evil or wicked, disagreeable spirits control the book, it can be used as a weapon, as it has been for the past 6,000 years. There hasn't been a time where that Bible was used for good. We can show clips of this and that, and show clips of stadiums packed out with Billy Graham and this and that, who was also a 33-degree Freemason. This is a fact. There's a clip, I don't know if it's still online, but there's a clip of him admitting it, and he's got his little pin right here. So, and that's not the only one. Osteen, Jakes, all of them, and you see what's happening to them. They're all falling apart. They're sinking. They're all sinking. Now, they're not going to act like it. They're going to put on a facade to the very end. It's who they are. They're ego. They are ego. They are the ego that has pulled off the ultimate magic trick into making you think that the ego is the spirit. And that is what the ego lusts after the most. Okay? So when we ride and we see this moon out in the middle of the daytime, they tell you, oh, the moon reflects the sunlight. Well, they've given you some of the truth, but not all of it. See, you're the sunlight. You're the son of God. You're the daughter of God. Now, I don't like using that word God, but for communication purposes, I will use it in this broadcast. You're the Son of God. You're Christ. You're the light of the world. All right? If you are. If you're not, you're not. Point blank, period. Just because you're here doesn't mean you are. You have to sacrifice the flesh. Period. You have to subdue the flesh. Not subdue the earth. Not subdue the animals of the earth. Not subdue and scrape out and have dominion over every animal, everything in this world. Have dominion over the nations next to you. And now we got 12 tribes who are supposed to have dominion over the whole world. They're waiting on a Mashiach to come back to rule the whole world with a rod of iron. What is that? You're basically waiting on Adolf to come. If you believe that the Mashiach is coming to rule the whole all nations with a rod of iron. See, the people that believe being led by a vengeful spirit, a revengeful spirit, a traumatized spirit, they're being led by pain. All right? That's the opposite of the Great Spirit. Being led by the Great Spirit is love, forgiveness. It don't matter what anybody has done to you. And if you still on some skin color thing, then you are still on step one, my friend. When we're getting ready to graduate, you're still taking kindergarten classes. The name of your skin is derma, which means dream. It's the largest organ in your physical avatar, your living temple. Okay? It's on outside for a purpose. You know what an organ is? An organ plays a note, a music note. Okay? A vibration, a frequency. That means the largest, loudest note is the very first note that gets hit. Boom. Whatever instrument you playing, drums, piano, trumpet, the very first note, saxophone, is the loudest note to get your attention, and that is called the derma, what we call skin. Now, if you can't see through the dream and that loudest first note, if you can't see through it and feel the soul force essence that is going to connect the song, which is harmony, which is your destiny, which is what true soul and knowledge of self is all about. If you can't get past that first note, that means you will never sing a song, you will never dance. You will never learn how to dance. And I'm talking about the eternal dance. Not the infinite dance, not the immortal dance, not the worldly dance. I'm talking about the dance of the soul, the mind of the heart. You can't even get past the first loudest note, the cymbal, the gong, whatever it may be. You can't get past that if you can't get past this skin color thing. And these people, controllers, they prey on you with this. The lower level people that still think voting has any kind of power, that still think that someone like Trump or Kamala or whoever is actually has any kind of say in anything. These people are peons. They're part of a club, and they are so low level. Don't matter if they 33 degree or nothing. They're like prospects. If you know anything about biker gangs, these people are like prospects. Trump, Kamala, people like that. These are the people like at a biker gang at a bar where the real deal people tell them, man, go get us 8 beers, man. Make yourself useful. That's Trump and all that. They have no power whatsoever. They have no say. They're actors, theater. It's no more different than Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. It's no different. Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Balloons in the sky, $600,000 missiles shoot it out the sky. It's China. Now orbs and drones and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now it's fires in California. Are they real fires? Yes. Is it unfortunate that stuff is happening? Yes. Is there a way out? Yes. That you will never be presented with a situation where there is not a way to, if thine eye be single and full of light, oh, how great that the light shall be fit to fill the entire body. You will be led by the Great Spirit. Don't matter about if the whole doggone neighborhood from 100,000 square miles, the Great Spirit will lead you out of there. Period. Those that aren't connected, that aren't in alignment, they're the ones that are lost in the sauce, don't know what to do. Government, come save us, please. They're calling on their God. They're calling on their God. The same way when my wife was just on life support for 5-6 days, and the doctors was coming and giving us updates every day. Got the nerve to try to tell my family how long she got. Now, I had to take care of my 3-year-old, so I was back and forth because my 3-year-old was sick, and I could not have my wife and my baby possibly, transition at the same time. So I had to make sure, because I was preparing for my wife to come home, and I could not have her come home and then the baby not be there. That would have took her out alone. Okay, so I had to keep a balance, and balance is the only way to wholeness. So I missed some of these meetings, but the family recorded all of them. So when I got there and they come out and telling me time frames and times and this and that, and it's all about time, 24 hours, 48 hours. Excuse me, respectfully, let me correct you. The origin of my eternal soul, life, light, and rest is so far above what your highest doctor in here can fathom. And then the head nurse guy interrupted me and said, yeah, Dr. I don't even remember. Dr. Jameson has been doing this for 24 years, and she's the head of it was above ICU. It was like the one above ICU, like the critical ICU. She's been the head of this, this department for 24 years, and I've been here 8 years, and I've yet to see her be wrong one time. Okay, so this man looked at the doctor of this facility as God. What she says goes, is what he was telling me in the spirit. So I respectfully told him, no disrespect to you or your beliefs, but I'm going to tell you about something about my wife and I. Who we are, truly, who I am, and who she is, and who we are, we come from the origin of eternal soul, life, light, and rest. Meaning, with all due respect, it doesn't matter what your doctor, if she was correct for 40 years, never made one mistake. There's who we come from and who we are. There's things that the human brain cannot even fathom. It will paralyze you, as it did that one guy, the supposed second smartest human in the world. What's his name? He's in a chair and he talks out of a little tube. I always forget his name. Y'all know his name. We don't need 1,000 people saying his name. Just one person can say his name. He speaks to a computer. That's who you call somebody that's gotten so much knowledge that it had, but he wasn't in alignment with the Great Spirit, so it literally shut his avatar down, and he knows it. He knows it too. They got science plugged into him to even keep him alive, because he's knocked, and he's gotten so much knowledge that and didn't do it in alignment. Like people searching after Kundalini. Oh, let me open my reading books, trying to open Kundalini, trying to astral project. What you're gonna do is, because you're not in alignment, you're taking a side door, and you're gonna get something that you don't want. You think you want it. You think you want to be flying around here on your silver cord. You think you want to be a prophet. You think you want to look into the future. You think you want to have telekinesis and be able to hear what everybody's thinking everywhere you go. Yeah, you think all that. But you better get in alignment. Seek first the kingdom of the origin of your eternal soul. Where is that? What did Emmanuel say? Emmanuel. He said it so many times. It's within you. Seek first the kingdom and its righteousness. Not just seek the kingdom and be out here doing whatever you want. Seek first the kingdom and its righteousness. Key word. And key phrase, and its righteousness. Everything else will be added unto you. What does unto you mean? That means it already exists within you. It just comes outward. You remember it. It doesn't mean you getting a download from a portal. The sun is a portal and you're getting download. Let me tell you something. That sun is not a portal. That sun is a focal point and intersection of what we call the pole star that changes far more than what they tell you. They telling you, oh, Alpha Draconis and Polaris and this one, that one. What's the Lyra and all this stuff. They telling you they take, in 7,000. That pole star changes far more than what they're telling you. And all it is the white light coming in through the top of the dome. It's a lens up there. There's two different lenses, convergent and divergent. Convergent is when the light comes together. where we all come together. It's called unification of the eternal light. Convergent. Divergent means it's the separation. What's the separation? The 7 rations to the 7 principalities, the 7, you can call them the 7 original Elohim, the 7, whatever you want to call them. They're not like us. They're different type of being. Just imagine, for everyone that watches Marvel and stuff, imagine like Galactus. This is the type of beings that they are. They're like planetary beings. They're suns. Okay? And the one that is worshipped the most in this realm, in this cycle, is Saturn. The reason being is because when the last switch changeover event happened, it allowed the evil ones to take control of the cycle in the beginning, and the guardians, the defenders, who you would call the sacred masculine or men of this realm, failed the sacred feminine. Not divine, not Devi, not diva, not devil. Sacred. They made the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine energy the scared masculine and the scared feminine. They change it from sacred to scared. Now you're on the edge of your seat every time a doggone light flies in the sky. The moon's out, the sun's out, all is the end of the world. Let me tell you something. These beings will do everything in their power to stop the end of this world. Because the end of this world is the end of their existence. We are eternal. We are going on. It is nothing but a free will decision. And yes, there's judgment, but you're going to judge yourself. And there's no way you can hide from yourself. You can lie to yourself all you want. You can lie to yourself for 30 years about a situation to the point that you actually believe now that this situation happened this way when it did not happen that way. It was your fault. You never repented and you never came clean about it. Therefore, you will judge yourself and it will come to the light. It will be shined upon and there's nothing you can do about it. Therefore, you must forgive yourself for everything. That's why self-condemnation is one of the highest powers that the enemy has in this realm. And you must forgive every single person that's ever done anything to you, your ancestors, anything. And it's some foul, crazy stuff that can't even be mentioned on here. And they're still doing it to this day. You have to you have to forgive them. You know, if you don't forgive them, then you'll be back here until you're able to forgive them. And you'll go through a whole similar thing just like Job, the book of Job. And stop getting caught up if these stories are real people or not. It doesn't matter. It's in the Akashic records. That means it's there. That means if somebody thought it already happened, that's what Christ tried to tell you. If you're married and a woman walked by and you had sexual thoughts and you pictured you having sex with her and stuff, you already did it. So it don't matter if you actually took her home and had sex with her, or if you just had sex with her in your mind, or you ended up going home and putting some kind of pornography or something. That's what he was trying to tell you. It don't even matter if this story is made up or if it happened. Either way, it's the power of your God power, which is the true the true origin of who and what you are. Not we were made in the image of these Elohim. Let's make man in our image. It says right in the Quran, we, us. Every time they speak, it's we, us, our. Same thing as in the beginning of the Bible. Elohim, us, our. Okay? I'm trying to explain something to you. The moon, the reason that it's reflecting now in the sun, why do you think that is? When the sun's out. Ain't got nothing to do with no planets, Nibiru, this and that. It's because those that are shining, those that are the light of the world, are lighting the reflection up so bright that it's even showing during the daytime now. That means we are emanating collectively a light so powerful that it's emanating the reflection in the daytime now. It don't matter where the sun is at and all that. It's our light is beginning to emanate the reflection. The moon is the reflection of not only our creator, it's the reflection of the entire, what they tell you, solar system. That moon lighting up in the daytime is us. They call it the Shu-Min resonance. There was no Shu and there was no Min. This guy named Schumann. Just like Galileo. The other one, Copernicus. They all got the double, CC, the GG, the SS. That's the Master Mason code. These people did not exist. The archetypes, okay? For them to insert their false science wrapped in the bow of truth. You got one little thing of truth, it's the bow. And guess what? The truth is the part that you throw to the side when you ripping the present open. The one part of the truth was the bow. And you throw it to the side and you open up their package with all the colors and all the shiny things and the gold and the glitter and the moony with these mushroom head people that didn't even really exist, and if they did, they weren't who. They did not look like that. Trust and believe. Of paper that they had to destroy plants, kill plants, trees, whatever. And now it comes from, flax plant, this, that, the other. Doesn't just come from regular trees. But either way you look at it, they have to kill to make money. Literally. They have to kill to make cell phones. Everything they do. It's the masked line, the masculine, the divider. The 12 inches. 12 inches, okay, is a foot. What's on your foot? Your soul. The soul of your foot. 12 inches, 12 tribes, 12 zodiacal signs. What's the zodiac? Zodiac, the eldest word is Zoion. That's Mount Zion. You will stand on top of Mount Zion, Zoion, with the Christ, singing a new song with the 144,000. That's the 144,000, 72,000 sacred masculine light code and the 72,000 sacred feminine light code together as 144,000 restored light code. The Christ is the light of the world. That's all of us standing on above Shemaya, her illusion. That means we stand above Saturn. We stand above the focal point you call the sun. We stand above the moon. We stand on top of this simulation, singing a new song. What does that mean? That means we emanate a vibration that has never been given off before. Because if it had been given off, they would have sent one of their priests, witches, and warlocks to figure out the frequency by now. What do you think they're trying to do with CERN and all? That's one part of it. They trying to tap into the frequency of where we're going so they can try to sneak into eternity. It doesn't exist yet because we have not connected to make the new song exist. It's only going to exist once we are above it all, outside of time, above Saturn, above this focal point called the sun, above Shemaya, her illusion. And we will stand above all of this. Then we will connect as the Christic being singing the new song, creating the new plane. That is what you have been told is heaven your entire life. That is the truest, closest point to the heaven that you have thought of as a child, where you're reunited and this and that. You don't have to worry about dimensions and doing this and doing that and all this knowledge and stuff. It's a free will decision. Okay? Stop worrying about all this stuff. I just lost my wife of almost a quarter century. Would have been a quarter century together, January 28th. Guess what? You know how favored I was, and I still am, to have spent almost a quarter century with this beloved, favored, just most beautiful soul that one can be. I was favored enough of everything I did in this lifetime. She stayed with me. She stuck it out, as we all are meant to do. As we all are meant to do. See, people got this thing that a wife and getting married, that's not real family. Real family's blood, brother and sister, I'm stuck with you. My wife, I can divorce you. No, you can't. You have now made an oath where the two become one. You cannot divorce. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, well in the Bible it says it's sexual immorality. Throw the first stone. Throw the first stone. I'm sure you're perfect in all your ways. If you really love someone, you'll help them through anything. You'll put on a different cap and you will help that person. As I spoke about earlier about the person on the corner. What means more? Taking 20 minutes, parking on the side and helping that person that needs to get to the drug rehab, or you donating $100,000 to the local Boys and Girls Club like you just did something? Which means more? You know the answer to that. You know the answer to that. As much as I speak about the Bible, it's because I come to bring you the truth of the origin of it, of how they've used it, and how it's lies mixed with truth. But one verse I will tell you is 2 Corinthians 12:9. I'm going to paraphrase, but in my weakness, your strength is made perfect. Your grace is sufficient for thee. What does that mean? That means when you're at your weakest point that you feel in this world, that's when your spirit, your higher self, the Great Spirit, the Oversoul, the origin of eternal life, light, rest, and eternal soul, the ancestors, all the benevolence that you have in and behind you, the Christ, When you are at your weakest, that is when all of that team is at their strongest. Embrace it. Embrace it. My grace is sufficient for thee. Grace. Grace. Meaning, in reality, I didn't even really deserve 25 years around my beautiful, beautiful wife. Because when I was young, I did things. We all did things. But I was out in the streets. And then I had my run. It was short, but it was very intense. With drugs. She could have left me then. People in the family were in her ear telling her to leave me. When we were younger, it was switched. People were telling me to leave her. We stayed together. We got 4 beautiful children now. 4 beautiful gods and goddesses that still have to remember the same way you have to remember. Prepare for the repair. It's as simple as doing the next right thing. Okay? Stop getting caught up in all this nonsense. Yeah, you might see me post something. I might post something. If you see something about a California wildfire or something, make sure you read it. Because there's a reason why. I'm not just posting it as, truthers and this and that do. If I post something and it got something to do with a wildfire or something, make sure you read it, because I guarantee there's a message in there that is more than meets the eye. Okay? More than meets the eyes, excuse me. But it will meet the eye. Alright? Stop being the scared masculine. Stop being the scared men 9. It's time to restore, restoration, rejuvenate. Rejuvenation. What is juvenate? That's juveniles, child. To become childlike again. To enter into the kingdom. It's time. Excuse me. It's the moment is here. I've gotten to the point where I don't have too many slip-ups with the word time, but I've removed it from my vocabulary. Time is of no concern to us. Only life. And life does not mean physical avatar. Life means guiding the souls eternal to where their treasure should be. Where they should be placing their treasure. Once you have that figured out and you're in alignment with the greatest of spirit, there's nothing else to worry about. You're just in cruise control now. Now you can hear that still, quiet voice, which is the Great Spirit. And it's not even a voice. Sometimes, in rare occasions, it can be. But in my experience, it's not a voice. It's called a conviction. Same way the ancestors communicate. Don't trust, and that's another thing. I remember when I was young and they told me about the Bible, about the ancestors were evil. And their familiar spirit. Do familiar spirits exist? So yeah, of course. I've seen them. They tried to trick me, and it was laughable, to be real with you. It was pathetic. The level of how pathetic they were when they tried to get to me through my dreams and act as if they were my mom after she passed. They tried it twice before my mom really contacted me. It was pathetic. They tried to set it up like a scary movie and everything, but I had no fear. At that point, I had no fear at all. I had just lost my mother. I was dangerous. I was a dangerous person. And I had no fear at all of nothing. Spiritual, physical, mental, nothing. And these attempts with these familiar spirits were laughable. Try to set it up like a real one of them Catholic exorcist movies and stuff. Like, it was laughable. And then I had the real experience. Okay? So you have to discern no matter what book you're reading. I don't care if it's Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat, the Lorax, whatever. You have to discern and take knowledge, and you have to turn it to wisdom. Only you can do that. I posted a beautiful picture of my wife on my other page, small page. Got like less than 1,000 friends on there. I rarely post on there, but it's only family stuff. I posted a picture of my wife, and I don't want to call any names, although my ego really wants to. But there was I'm gonna say in the nicest way possible, a very ignorant person. Not ignorant like rude, like ignorant like doesn't have it. Clearly doesn't have it. Has I don't want to say a quite a way to go, but possibly, or a very intense experience before they because it shows very, very clearly where they're at on their journey. This person got on my wife's beautiful picture. Everyone else, I love you, sorry about your loss, this, that. And the picture in the background, some of you may have seen it. It was when we were at this, it was actually for my daughter's birthday, I believe. We had got her a special little lobby thing. She had like a little get-together with friends, and there was a picture thing. It said, "Never let them steal your crown." And the reason it said crown, because it was the place where it was at was called the Crown Center. So it was like, allegorical with the name of the facility and everything. My wife and I stood in front of there, took a decent picture, put it up. Everyone on there, beautiful wife, sorry about your loss. I send you love and light, this, that.